Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Jason Nunez, and let's queer up politics. Trump names alpha male Hooters fan Nick Adams ambassador to Malaysia. In a move raising eyebrows across the globe, and especially online, President Donald Trump has appointed far-right influencer and self-described alpha male Nick Adams as U.S. ambassador to Malaysia. Adams, born Nicholas Adamopoulos in Australia, moved to the United States in 2012 and became a naturalized citizen in 2021. He took to Twitter to thank Trump, calling him, quote, the greatest president ever, end quote, and declared he's now, quote, armed with the pen of diplomacy, end quote. His appointment has sparked confusion, ridicule, and disbelief. One social media user commented, quote, I thought this guy was a parody the whole time, end quote. Another wrote, I'm so incredibly proud to have an alpha male as my ambassador to Malaysia, mocking Adams' obsession with macho branding. Adams is notorious online for his bizarre post promoting ultra-conservative ideals, including dining at Hooters 4 to 6 times a week, refusing to eat female M&Ms, and opposing queer representation in the media. He once described Pixar's Lightyear as disgusting and woke for including a brief lesbian kiss, and even labeled Super Bowl performers like Kendrick Lamar and Snoop Dogg as, quote, hoodlums. For many LGBTQ Americans, the appointment feels like satire turned reality. Critics argue this pick shows how Trump's diplomacy is less about global relations and more about performative right-wing trolling. So I spent some time at the State Department, so I know the process that goes into picking an ambassador. Mm-hmm. This was not it.
Okay.
This was not it. This was not it. Even as I'm reading it, I still think it's satire. I'm waiting for the punchline.
Wow.
Like, this is ridiculous, and this is now our global representation in Malaysia.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're confirming something. So I watched this podcast called Diary of a CEO, and just 2 days ago he released this podcast, and there was ex-CIA, they're professional ex-CIA nuclear expert and another ambassador, and they were talking about how this presidential cabinet has been moving differently, and it's scary. And in the ways in which they're moving, because Donald Trump has media power. Number one, he worked for NBC, and then he amassed all that media power. He has real estate power, he has political power, and now he has attention power. And when they said attention power, I was like, what's that? And they were like, well, he's placing, number one, he has even when he wasn't president, he had the attention of the public. He was in the headlines all the time. Now he's picking and choosing people who makes people's attention go, whoa. And it takes your eyes off of the plot, the narrative, what they're actually doing. And also it creates an insulation of a silo for him. So the president is usually siloed, but he usually has professionals around him feeding up actual intelligent information that helps him to make good decisions. But this cabinet, this executive board, and all the people that he's putting around him, number one, they have no intelligence. Number two, they're only there for his narcissistic benefit and for the playbook, for whatever plot they're going for, whether it's Project 2025 or whatever plot it is, they feed that plot, which creates more of a dictatorship or a fascist government. And the way they're going about it, it feels surreal. It feels unreal. This is literally what they said off of the podcast. And you're sitting here confirming and affirming everything that they were talking about, which is scary to me because I was looking at them, I was like, I don't know, maybe, okay. I'm a little, but now that you're like, what goes into the process, and you're like, this ain't it. This is not it.
This ain't it. But didn't he just appoint like a 22-year-old influencer with like a cowboy hat the other day to do something else? I mean, so this is just what Trump is doing. You know what I mean? Like, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, sorry. But even with the more traditional State Department process, presidents have been picking their friends and donors for ambassadorship for more than a few weeks now. Like, I remember I used to work for David Brock at Media Matters, and I remember Hillary Clinton's election night because he thought he was getting an ambassadorship, so we had a whole big party. He did not have a good morning the next day, but Senator or Ambassador Kennedy of Japan, like, what were her qualifications? She was a good donor. She was a good bundler. This man is a difference. I don't think we've seen quite an extreme pick like this. I know Malaysia, member of the parliament are already attacking this man, partially because it's a majority Muslim country and he is very anti-Palestinian, and they are going after him for that because clearly they didn't take 2 minutes to say, oh, hey, who can we put in a country that's not going to cause an issue? Because not only you're going to try and find a donor that isn't going to upset people if you're going to put them, but a lot of countries that have more technical issues, you do try to do the career service ambassadors. I've met many of the career service ambassadors, and you are so much nicer and kinder than any State Department staffer I know in DC. But it's a much more better process. I wish we as a society would go more in that direction, because when you allow presidents to pick their buddies, this is where it eventually leads.
Yeah. There's a gay Nick Adams, and I wish we were talking about him.
Right.
He's much better
Can we show
to
his
look
picture?
at. Awesome.
Didn't Vaughn meet him?
Didn't you meet him? He's cute too,
Yes, he
right?
is.
This whole alpha male thing, just freaks me the hell out, okay? As a woman, I've had to deal with toxic masculinity my whole life, right? And this gives toxic masculinity a passport, basically. You're giving him the reins to do what he wants to do. And it's scary, all right? I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm almost happy that Hooters is bankrupt. I said that.
And for the record, Faye, if you had M&Ms, I would eat some of your M&Ms.
Oh, thank you.
And he, The Guardian had reported on him that he was the youngest deputy mayor in Australia, but his biggest complaint was pigeons and dog poo. That was what he dealt with.
Everything.
Oh.
And I'm like, and now you're an alpha male.
And he
how's
eats
that
at
going to work in
Hooters
Malaysia?
4
I
times
don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be watching this for you, and that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.